Um, I'm going to talk about the twin flame relationship because this is going on a lot at the moment. And I've said in my other video about defining the three relationships of karmic, soulmate, and twin flame. And the twin flame relationship is incredibly interesting. It's a phenomena that seems to be happening more and more at this time on incarnation in Earth. And I feel that this is about the ascension process. You know, we are getting to a point where as a soul incarnating into a physical body and into a human body, we are looking at the balance of the masculine and the feminine. And the unusual thing about the twin soul, the twin flame, is it's one soul that has been part of the same element of light at sort of the birth of that being that has been split. So the soul is two parts of one whole. And it's interesting that we are at a time in the ascension on this planet where they are being born into the same incarnation. And I feel that's because we are moving into a wholeness. Like we are all trying to understand that we are not separate. We are a part of a whole ecosystem on our planet that is about wholeness, but also within ourselves that we are parts of a masculine and feminine that come together to make a whole. So that concept can be quite tricky for some people. But in my body, I carry feminine and I carry masculine. In Chinese medicine, we always look at that as yin and yang, and we look at, I think the left is more yin and the right is more yang, but that depends on the person. I have met people where it's the other way around, but most commonly I see it as the feminine on the left and the masculine on the right. But there are many possibilities in life, as I'm beginning to see. So to make the environment conducive to the twin flames coming together, I believe that there must have been a lot of development within ourselves that is bringing our own masculine and feminine within us, because we are trying to integrate into wholeness as human beings so that we can ascend, but also that wholeness is about the cooperation of the masculine and feminine. So as above, so below, we know that one. Our internal state is mirrored, creates an external state. We mirror the internal external as particles of existence mirroring one another. So we have come to a time in our ascension where twin flames are coming in more, and also within ourselves we are creating this compatibility of the masculine and feminine meeting within the heart space, like meeting within the heart space. So that sets up the energetic patterning of a relationship that meets in the heart space, which is also part of ourselves. So this is quite a complicated dynamic, but it's something that is quite essential for our journey through into a higher dimension, into the consciousness of the heart, which for many people is going to be very, very, very different from our concepts in our head. So when we meet a twin flame, usually what happens is there's a huge opening process, because probably for the first time in your life you meet someone who completely resonates at your frequency. So if you can imagine, you're resonating at your frequency and it comes along and it's resonating, and it's like, wow, there's a real resonance as you're both resonating at the same frequency. But what that does is it shakes up and out of your particles, your energy system, all the dross, all the complications, all the old belief systems, all the vibrations that are not of your soul vibration. And that can be a lot of stuff. So you are shaking it out, and you're shaking it out together, so it's more and more intense because there's two of you, there's like double the energy, shaking it out of each other, and you're also like mirrors for one another. You're mirroring effect because it's a recognition at soul level. There's a mirroring, but you might have been born at source with the same frequency, but you've had all these lifetimes, these experiences of your own incarnating. But as a soul, one of you may not have been incarnated and might have been a guidance for that soul that was incarnated. So we can get that sort of patterning. So if you come into this life and you meet someone like that, it really does feel like something completely earth moving, earth shattering. So you meet them, the resonance is so strong, the heart opening is so strong. Often people will have an awakening in terms of their gifts and their awareness, their third eye. The resonance will help shake out what they don't need anymore. And sometimes that can be so intense for people that you often get one person running because they cannot cope. And it is very common in a twin flame that there is one person that is more evolved spiritually, they're more in touch, they're more aware, they've had less of that sort of conditioning in this life, and that's actually why they're meeting, to wake up the other person, to help them, and they will be bringing to help wake that person up. So it's all about balance, this. So when they meet, it can become too much. You get one person running away and one person staying, often going through a grief process, which is also part of their heart awakening process, also part of their journey into love and the heart matrix, which is not about ownership of that other person, which we have been taught a lot of in 3D and karmic relationships, that we must own another person, and that is called love, which is not. It's not love. Love is, in the fullest expression, is allowing and creative and open. So you can have all the beautiful aspects of love, like respect and honouring that person and sensitivity to their feelings and consideration, but it's done in a package of not having manipulation or control. So once we really love someone, we begin to understand that they have their own journey, they are their own soul consciousness, their own person, so they must go on their own journey, just as we must do. And so to be with them in their presence in that time, in your lifetime, is actually very unique, special and beautiful. And to honour and respect that, but also honouring and respecting the parting when you are not with each other is part of the journey. It's part of honouring and respecting yourself as part of your journey and their journey. And this brings into the consciousness the quote, if you really love someone, let them go. And if they're yours, they will come back to you. The twin flame is real pressure in this, because you've got the stayer that will experience a lot of grief, and that will be part of their heart opening. And the runner is often trying to deal with a lot of things, fragmentations within themselves. And all both parties are trying to do is to deal with their own fragmentation and their own belief systems and learned conditioning around what they thought love was. But actually love is a much more expansive concept. So within the twin flame, we're having this consciousness where they're coming together, and within people in general, we're having this masculine, feminine counterparts coming together to meet in the heart. So if you are going through that process, it is a very deep process, and it can be incredibly sensitive. There can be a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions that come up, because you are actually clearing through thousands and thousands of years of misaligned relationship patterning, which has gone on in the mass consciousness and on in the earth. So we are trying to refine and change our energy systems to be more in alignment with a higher consciousness, which is about love. So I hope that's helpful. I can help people with twin flames. I can give a bit more information if that's needed. But hopefully this video is sort of giving you an idea that we need to broaden our concepts around love if we really want to move into a sense of wholeness and wellness with ourselves and other people. Okay, thank you for listening. Bye.